Good evening and welcome to the Echoes of the Damned, a weekly spotlight on a band that summons the darkest sound and raw power. A band that has captured my mind and eardrums in a lyrical and sonic bliss. Good evening, Shadows, and welcome to the 4th edition of the Echoes of the Damned. Tonight we feature the legendary band Misfits. And please forgive me if I butcher names and other words. From the dark and restless streets of Lodi, New Jersey, in 1977, the Misfits clawed their way into existence, a monstrous creation that would forever haunt the annals of punk history. Pioneering the sinister subgenre of horror punk, they became the unholy marriage of feral punk aggression and macabre cinematic imagery. Under the shadowy vision of vocalist and keyboardist Glenn Danzig, the earliest incarnation took form with bassist Diane DiPiazza and drummer Mr. Jim. Yet, as with all dark tales, changes came swiftly. Jerry Only, the figure who would become both a constant and a curse, replaced DiPiazza on bass, while Manny Martinez took his seat at the drums. With guitarist Franche Coma joining in the fall of 1977, the first sinister lineup of the Misfits was complete. Their legacy sprawls like a blood-stained map: 7 studio albums, 3 live records, 4 compilations, 4 EPs, and 19 singles, each release steeped in the shadow of death, chaos, and rebellion. The Misfits are credited with birthing horror punk, a genre that wields nightmare fuel as its anthem, influencing legions of bands to follow in their haunting footsteps. One of their most infamous incantations, "We Are 138," recorded in 1978, remains shrouded in mystery. Many whisper that its cryptic chant was inspired by George Lucas's dystopian sci-fi film THX 1138, a tale of a sterile future where humanity is reduced to soulless numbers. Bobby Steele, a former Misfits guitarist, supported this vision, recounting Danzig's eerie badges bearing a half-human, half-android figure marked with 138. Yet Danzig himself, ever cryptic and unrepentant, dismissed the speculation. "They don't know what the fuck it's about," he growled in a 2000 interview. "It's about violence." This ambiguity only fuels its mystique, turning the chant into a war cry for the disenchanted and enraged. The Misfits' crimson ghost, a spectral skull wreathed in darkness, has transcended music to become an emblem of rebellion, a mark synonymous with punk culture and gothic ferocity. Their horror-drenched sound, with its tales of bloodshed and the supernatural, resonates like a ghastly sermon, leaving a mark on artists across all genres. The Misfits' history is carved into the flesh of punk rock, their ever-shifting lineup leaving behind echoes of rebellion. Among the most sinister architects, Glenn Danzig, the founder, the voice, the harbinger of darkness, 1977 to 1983. His vision and lyrics breathed life into horror punk's blackened soul. Jerry Only, the eternal shadow, bassist and later vocalist, the keeper of the band's flame and legacy, 1977 to 1983, and 1995 to present. Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein, the monster of the strings, Jerry Only's brother, whose riffs shook the earth, 1980 to 1983, and 1995 to 2001. Michelle Graves, the resurrected voice during the band's second coming, giving the Misfits new life, 1995 to 2000. Dr. Chud, the relentless heartbeat of the Reformation era, pounding drums like nails into a coffin, 1995 to 2000. Yet, their history is as turbulent as their sound. Following their disbandment in 1983, a bitter war over their name and imagery ignited between Glenn Danzig and Jerry Only. Legal battles raged in the shadows, until the dust settled in 1995, when Jerry Only reanimated the band with new blood and renewed purpose. However, The earth truly trembled again in 2016 when, after decades of estrangement, Danzig and Oli stood side by side once more, summoning the original specter of the Misfits for legendary performances, a reunion that shook the punk world to its core. When the original beast disbanded in 1983, its cursed members scattered into the shadows, their paths no less haunting. The most notable was Glenn Danzig. The Dark Lord ventured deeper into the abyss, forming Samhain, a dark precursor to his namesake project Danzig. The anthem Mother became his rallying cry, solidifying his reign in rock and metal's underworld. Their infernal discography is a blood-stained tome of sonic darkness, each album a twisted chapter in the Misfits' legacy. Walk Among Us, 1982, the first unholy offering, a chaotic anthem to the macabre, forever etching the Misfits into the bones of punk history. Earth AD, Wolf's Blood, 1983, a feral descent into sonic violence and fury, a raw and brutal requiem that borders on the edge of thrash metal. Static Age, recorded in 1978, unleashed in 1996. An artifact from the vault, unearthed decades later, a haunting relic of the band's origins drenched in distortion and nihilistic rebellion. American Psycho, 1997. The resurrection of the Misfits, where the undead return to claim their throne, adorned with new blood and a savage energy. Famous Monsters, 1999, a grotesque carnival of sound, a celebration of horror's most iconic creatures, brought to life with manic vigor. Project 1950, 2003, a ghoulish love letter to the past, where classic rock and roll was reanimated through the Misfits' monstrous lens. The Devil's Reign, 2011, a tempest of darkness and decay, as ominous as its title, signaling the band's relentless march through time and shadow. The Misfits' legacy transcends music. They are the architects of horror punk, a genre dripping with blood, rage, and darkness. Their crimson ghost, a skeletal specter etched in black and white, has become a symbol of rebellion, adopted by outcasts, ghouls, and punks worldwide. Their music, infused with tales of monsters, violence, and death, has influenced countless artists and carved an indelible scar into the flesh of popular culture. The Misfits are not merely a band, they are an eternal force. Their sound echoes like screams in the night, their imagery haunting generations to come. Through their chaos, they have ensured that horror will always have a place in the shadows of punk rock. The Misfits live on immortal, relentless, and undead. The Misfits are more than a band. They are a cult, a haunting legend that refuses to die. Their legacy is carved into the black heart of punk rock, their ghostly presence looming eternal over the damned and the disillusioned. For those bold enough to descend deeper into their shadowed abyss, the gateways to their official lair and haunting performances lie waiting in the void below. Dare to enter and let the darkness consume you. As the shadows retreat for now, let their music echo in your soul until the abyss calls again. Return next week, where another echo will rise from the darkness to claim their place in the eternal night. Until then, stay lost in the void.